in entirety. So you won't want to touch that dial. You just need to stick and stay with us as we delve into these issues and many more. And Healthy Morning, of course, is always interactive. We are active on all our socials. On YouTube, we are live at Hstv GH Live. On Instagram, we are active at Hstv_Ghana. On Facebook is Hstv Ghana. On Twitter, we're also active there. You can visit all of our socials and get interactive, especially on matters arising. How you feel about all we're going to talk about. You're free to join the conversation, especially by sending your thoughts, comments, messages via our WhatsApp platform, where you have the numbers at the left hand side of your screen. So it's Power Pack today, Tuesday, but it's Power Pack, and as much as it's just me, and it's still Power Pack, I'm promising you that. So it's all education, all information, and all entertainment today to help you have a smooth day, a smooth Tuesday. So keep working on your dreams, keep working on your aims and ambitions, on your hopes. What you're doing once is not illegal, keep going forward and everything is going to be fine. And before I take leave of you, I want to say a big thank you to Apparel V. She knows how she does it. Today is a Tuesday and she's giving me something beautiful, and I love what I'm wearing. And you out there, you're equally looking for something beautiful to wear, whatever occasion it is. Even if it is your big day, your wedding day, your engagement day, if it's a party you're attending, if it's church service, if it's a normal hangout, whatever it is, whatever fabric you have, she's able to turn that around and give you something beautiful. And she's located at Ablekuma Akrama. If it's quite too far for you, well, social media has done the job for us. You can reach out to her via the numbers 0249 222 678, 0249 222 678. Alternatively, you can reach out to her on Instagram. She's active and the name is Apparel V. The apparel is APPARREL and then VEE. It's one word on Instagram, APPARRELVEE. You get there, you see me, you see pictures of me, you see videos of me, know that you're at the right place. So that's it. And thank you to Auntie Vida. I know you're watching me this morning. Thank you so much, and God bless you so much for all that you're doing. From me and from Hstv in entirety, we appreciate your works, and God bless you so much in all that you do. So good morning to you once again. My name is Stephanie Ejochinamanya, and I'm going to take a quick 10, and then when I come back, I'll serve you with sweeter chili.
You're a miracle worker. You're a destiny changer. And see in your binye bita. In your binye bita. In your binye bita. Can I woo nama? Sensually disapaya. The boy at show nyameba. Ma wuse. Uyo nyamya. Can I woo nama? Sensually disapaya. Kabano. Nyame 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 nyame. Uyo nyamya. Sorry, knock it out. Nema matamfo. Minara morite. Erate ma. Ramo karabahanda. Erate ma. So tonight, whilst Sanctuary Nyankopon is here, I speak over every barren womb. And I speak over every empty account. And I speak into every single...
Adiana to look on again. Gambling butter, gambling fish. And sweet ajele. Mbao, maybe open continental food, madam.
Hello, sweet team. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sweet Ajele. I hope you can hear the excitement in my voice, and that is because our mozzarella cheese video is back, and it is even better than ever. Yes, after taking this down, so many of y'all wanted it back, and here you have it. But this time I share how you can make it with and without rennet, so you get to choose which one is better for you. Will you nail it? Will you fail it? Well, you have to try it to find out. Let's get started. We begin by measuring a cup of non-chlorinated water, preferably spring water. To that, we will add 1 1/4 teaspoon of citric acid. Give it a good stir until it dissolves beautifully and set it aside. Next, we will need a gallon of cold whole milk. Ensure that it is full fat. Now, the original recipe calls for buffalo milk, but I don't have it where I am, so we will be using whole cow milk. Okay, to this we'll add our water with the citric acid, and we will stir it in quickly. We will now transfer this onto our stove top and heat it up until it is at 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Here I have half a cup of water. To that I'll be adding half a teaspoon of vegetable rennet. At this point, my milk is at 90 degrees, so it is time for us to add in our water and rennet mix. Stir everything in quickly and cover it up and allow it to rest for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, let's check our curds. It has formed beautifully, so we're going to go ahead and cut it up. Please use a regular knife. I'm using a plastic knife because I don't want to ruin my pot, okay?
Continental food, madam. Food, madam. International food captain. Who show you how to make pizza, jollof, bangu and okra soup, sushi and pastries. All this and more. Sweet
Alright, y'all, once you're done cutting, you want to turn your fire back on, and we're going to heat up our whey to about 110 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and this will begin softening our curds back up, okay? And while doing this, you want to check the temperature from time to time to ensure that you are at the right temperature. I am at 110 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so I began stirring it. I'm doing it very gently. I am not stirring it vigorously at all. As you can see, it is very gently, and I'm trying to gather the curds. And the easiest way that I find that you can do this is to kind of gather and press it to the walls of your pot, and then keep gathering the rest into the same direction. You don't want to be stirring this any other way. Okay, so this is how I do it, and this helps gather the curds together while still checking the temperature. I don't want it to go over 120 degrees. As soon as it hits 120, I'll put the fire to its lowest setting and continue gathering my curds. But don't worry, I'll speed this up for you.
Continental food, madam. Food, madam. International food captain. Who show you how to make pizza, jollof, bangu and okra soup, sushi and pastries. All this and more. Sweet
Now that I've gathered up all the curds, I'm going to get it out of the way and transfer it into a bowl where I will be able to work it to create the stretchiness. But keep the heat on under your whey to ensure that it stays nice and hot. It is now time for us to turn it, and it looked like it's going to fall apart, but with my fufu making skills, I just turn over and press, turn it over and press down, and you will see the stretchiness beginning to happen already. You may use a spatula for this, but I find using my hand to be the easiest way. So if this is too hot for you, you may use a heat resistant glove, or like I said, your spatula. Always remember not to overwork your cheese, because then you may just mess it up, okay? And we don't want that. I'm just going to go ahead and add some of the whey into it, and I'm going to go ahead and flavor it with some salt. I'm using iodized salt. If you can get cheese salt, by all means use that, because making cheese, you want to use all cheese making things, but I just used iodized salt, and as you can see, it worked. Okay, yes. as I said earlier, you don't want to work it too much, so I just tuck it under into itself, and then I just squeeze it to rip it into a ball, just like this. So it is nice and beautiful. I am going to go ahead and continue the process until I've made all my tiny little mini balls. Okay, yes, this is one way you can do it. And when you are on the last one, you just tuck it into itself and you will be done. The water is hot. If you can't handle it, wear heat resistance glove or use your spatula. Allow the water to cool down a bit before shaping it. Okay, and there you have it. It is nice and ready to store. I'm just going to wrap each one with plastic wrap, and it is best to enjoy this within a week of making it. In making cheese, I realized that the one with rennets usually only lasts for up to a week. Okay, so store in your refrigerator and enjoy within a week. All right, y'all, what if your curds look like this? It is absolutely beautiful, very nice and soft, but there's no need to cut this, and we can try to shape it and make it into a ball in the pot because it is so soft. You can try to do that, but I usually just scoop it into a colander like this and allow all the whey to simply drip out, and then the curd will be much more firm and solid, making it easier to work with. Especially for beginners, you don't want to start messing around with these curds because you may just fail this recipe completely. I allowed it to sit, and as you can see, it is more solid now. All the whey is out of it, and in the meantime I was heating up my whey and it is boiling now. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some of the whey into my bowl, and to that I'll add some salt to taste. Once I add the salt, I'll then go ahead and add our curds. And my sweets, look how perfect this look. This makes for a wonderful presentation. The calendar gave it a beautiful design. All right, y'all, so put it in your nice and flavored whey. Add some more whey to the top of it, and I'm going to just begin to fold and press, this time using my spatula. So as I said, you can use your spatula or you can use your hands, whichever one is more comfortable for you. And I'm folding and pressing down, and this will help me begin to create the stretchiness that I need in making mozzarella cheese. Okay, now to have a more controlled cheese making experience, you can divide this in half and make it half at a time. All right, and when your water begins to cool down, immediately add some of your hot whey or hot water to it to keep it going, because if the water gets too cold, you won't be able to create the stretchiness that you're looking for. All right, I hope you're enjoying this so far. If you are, give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe before leaving and leave an amazing comment. I do love reading your comments. Also, do not forget to share this with your friends and family so that they can find the easiest way to make mozzarella cheese on YouTube right here on Sweet Ajele's channel.
Continental food, madam. Food, madam. International food captain. We'll show you how to Ajay, go go, go go gaga go. Sweet Ajay, go go gaga go. Sweet Ajay. Continental food, madam. Food, madam. International food captain. We'll show you how to make pizza, jollof, banku and okra soup, sushi and pastries. All this and more. Sweet Ajay, go go, go go gaga go. Sweet Ajay, go go gaga go. Sweet Ajay.
Now let's move on to the milk vinegar version. This one is without rennet. In my pot, I'll add half a gallon of milk, and we're going to heat this up until it is at 140 degrees Fahrenheit, or until our fingers can no longer tolerate how hot it is. Now, if you cannot do the finger test, please be sure to have a thermometer for this, because I had some people saying, why are you telling people to put their fingers in hot milk? I can do that. You may not be able to do that, so please get a thermometer. And I just stole a little bit because I need it to make a starter for yogurt. Okay, at this point it's at the temperature. I turn the heat off, and I'm going to go ahead and add in my half a cup of white vinegar, and the acidic level is 5%. Okay, so I give this a quick stir, and I'm going to go ahead and cover it up to trap the warmth to give me some nice soft curds. 5 minutes later, and this is what we have. These curds are absolutely beautiful, so I'll transfer it into my sift right here. Now, for those of you that had issues with your curds going right through your strainer, that may mean that your holes in the mesh are bigger. Mine are very, very fine, so it is perfect for this process. So if yours isn't, you don't want to use this method. What you can do is to gather the curd to the side and press it to the walls of your pot like I did the first method using rennet. Okay, at this point I'm going to season my whey with some salt and turn the fire back on, and I'll begin turning my curds. So I just turn and press it down, turn, press, and I don't want to cut any clips because I want you to watch this form into a ball. Do I fail at this sometimes? Absolutely. If you want to see videos of me failing, let me know and I will try some and fail just for you. But you know, I have to do all the trials and errors and bring you all the best. Okay, in my original video, the people that tried and got it, they were so excited that this was the easiest, and in my opinion, it absolutely is. The people that failed at it, on the other hand, resorted to insulting me and calling me all kinds of names. Please try this if you want to, but keep in mind that you may fail or you may just nail it. And we just did, and our Princess Momo is happy about that. So there you have it. I'm going to put it back in the whey to not only flavor it up, but also to soften it up for me a bit so I can shape it up and make it into a ball. Okay, let's stretch it up to see if it worked. And as you can see, it is stretching beautifully. There is absolutely no rennet in here, and we still have our mozzarella cheese. And as always, once it stretches like this, you are done. There is no need to keep stretching and balling and stretching and balling, because it'll become tough, making it hard to melt. Okay, so we will transfer this into some cold water to cool it down, and then I'll wrap it up and into my refrigerator it'll go. This one, on the other hand, I'm able to keep for up to a month. Yes, for some reason this one lasts longer than the one with rennet. And there we have it. Our homemade mozzarella cheese is ready. But in order for me to be able to differentiate between this one and the one with rennet, I'm going to put this one in a bag, okay? Make my life easy. Going to make some cheesy toast. So this right here is the one with rennet, and this is the one without rennet. Into our oven it goes, and we're going to let it melt or heat up for about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, once it comes out, this right here is the one without rennet. So this is the stretch that we get from that one. Good for me. I love the flavor of that, by the way. The vinegar gives it an amazing flavor, but to each their own. And this is the one with rennet, and this is the stretch. Obviously the one with rennet stretches a little more than the one without rennet. This is how I love to enjoy it. Oh my goodness. Tomatoes with mozzarella and basil, or even pesto sauce. I am in heaven. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give your girl a thumbs up and be sure to try it. Share and subscribe if you have not done that yet. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. This is Sweet Ajele. Thank you so much for subscribing. And to the Sweet team, I love you all so much. Until I see you in my next video, stay safe, keep loving each other, and remember that the love of God and family is life's greatest blessing. And guys, ke onamini ochemi sweet mahabotu. Bye ya.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
Would you like to own a home, start a business, provide seed money, or a good education for your children? The Pro Wealth Plan answers all of life's questions. This is Ekwa 9. She wants to be an engineer in future. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, plan to give her the best education but don't want to be unnecessarily burdened when she's ready for university in 10 years. Do you know how much it will cost Ekwa to go to a local private university or university abroad in the next 10 years? Ekwa's parents have signed up to a Pro Wealth Plan. They pay affordable monthly premiums that ensures they are able to fund Ekwa's university fees and living expenses. When she's ready for university, Prudential will pay the maturity benefit and her parents can enjoy free insurance cover for an additional 5 years. In the unfortunate event that her parents pass away, Prudential will pay over 200% of the sum assured, which is 100% immediately, 10% annually to keep Ekwa in her current school, and 100% at maturity for her chosen university. This means that Prudential Life has guaranteed Ekwa's education regardless of life's uncertainties. The Pro Wealth Plan also covers a spouse or partner up to the same sum assured. With over 26 million customers, 24,000 employees globally, and over 170 years experience, you and your family can have peace of mind knowing that you are in safe hands. Whatever your financial goals are, the Pro Wealth Plan has the answers to life's questions. Call us today and let Prudential secure your future.
Awusia bedawase se okasa mfonyine egusua eda Hstv ebiana wadamfo bi onua bi ananse busuani bi aboamane se nansen enya de onya Hstv o ne kasa mfonyine eso obuo no mu a onya mfonyine eba nanso kasa bi a emma obuo nso no ane de na tekokra anyimu ayekusukusu bese otin kai boy na ebo na mane emaye se we Hstv no atekwa ye bese se obesa scanne u TV no foforo anaso obesa scanne u decoder no foforo eni be mu akwanya ama wonsa saka Hstv bio de enjumadi ahodo na wonso anya akwanya atumi ahwe bi enti bia na onua bi pese o sa scanne TV no foforo a ye bese se obeya aso na wati kwan a obefa so obesa scanne TV no anase decoder no efoforo ye di nkan so pese o scanne TV no foforo a obefa remote na what remote no so wamia menu e remote no so e di amaye atwode bebre e na beba okasa mfonyi no eso hwehwe bia ya tro se channels e maye nimia okay e remote no eso e di atro foforo e besa ba o kasa mfonyi no eso ahwehwe bia ya tro se auto scan nimia okay we remote no so e maye we be scan ni stations ahodo e wo kasa mfonyi no so e di amount ejina u TV no so bitimi disima be aduonu eko aduasa eso stations ahodo e ba kasa mfonyi no eso bomodi a na hwe Hstv onsa be kan na hwe adwumadi ahodo a akanina ebia na wo de no enye TV na emom odi coda e na apese osasa na fofo ntitiu eni omom use Go TV obobo modin afa remote no na wamia menu e remote no so e di amame atwode bebre ebe ba okasa mfonyi no anim wadaroma hwehwe bia atro se advanced option nimia okay e remote no so emame e di atwode foforo ebe ba okasa mfonyi no anim hwehwe bia ya atro se installation nimia okay e remote no so emame e di atwode foforo ebe sign aba ahwehwe bia ya atro se auto scan nimia okay e remote no so emame we be ma wonsa ka eye kasa mfonyi na se stations ahodo a ewo omaimu enina bomodi na hwe Hstv nimia okay ewo so we be mu akonya asamu abeka Hstv abusha kese en ho ne dwumadi enina onso gwanya bi ahwe bonua bi an Hstv article amane won fasa akwanyi so na ne sabesan akan ye de wase so age bre e wetie yen ni wahwe yen so
our bebumbo. So beton is one tia if you have a continental. Say you have to grab a pog and see a 4 bay you are man. Keep your pons in a neat one and muscle, over comment. You saw I was I would hear the wolf when you now. A brother was so I know she panty, I would yakoma. You yanko pong whom my brother see the man and bar. O Christo de Honton and Yawa Dawa. What to me put on my time for him and rabbit the dasso. Or so men sat the big capo call when Yamaquaso. Say, send me what that's what I said, yeah, we need the vaso. Since what time why you be paying what that's switching on the naso. And forward into Yassi, when Yanko upon the Tiasi, which you didn't even share, Predias, I will leave a grassy. If I best roll now, when you're grana yet, Chowasi, Lady Nemo who put the jack as I am a dassi. Send your cassia to me, but dead in Tino. And so she be brave, but also kind of Pia with Fino. Your children would do the need be fear, and so would die with Chino. The vampire when somebody come with you with years to Timo. I'll bring them in Palm Penny. So I know the Baba what else? In a bit in a Mawakument. There were any who to Nani, and so I didn't the Puano. In the end, so I know the Baba Namawa. Yeah, in a bit in a Mawakument. Something she said for me, 1, 2, 3.
Looking for someone to take your sorrows all away. Want to hold you tight and say everything's gonna be okay. High supper I will bring you now. On my new now and then we are. Ain't get denied to the child. Hold on to your faith. There will be a brighter day.
What can I say? We say when you're not here, what one the premo. And then I go straight to the banner to us, which in a come with good people, fading Jeff Piano. Sika will paint in a wussy, will piano pay a sieno. The assay of a dear, but that's an inting and copassy. Sika, you painty and a Christopher Cryant to Wassy. Was it Uncle Pon, yes, and Janine, I meant to Wassy. Bunia for and sent Janine is someone that's what Yassi. I saw for the Yassi of a Fedi and a house or rimba. What a kind of way sit down as a will be at a boca. Just a Yassi, I will buy a dear and I will buy the qua. Near what is it came on so we have your flower bar. Near your dear Uncle Pon, Kawaka, and Yawoya. What dear Fanny said in Fibby Brow, what Yasha will buy. We share the school around the Giannis house of Bono Hoka. Now when the other catcher was a down, I have a papa. Sana Yaman Uncle Pon the Yao. In Shirano Wakuma, and you will seek out. The Christopher said, you need a son, Yawa. And may I not be fair, what Waka Sabbath show, what will be Palm Penny.
Brighter day, brighter day, brighter day. When I'm in Kuma, I'm testing for grandpa. There will be a brighter day, brighter day, brighter day. When I'm in Kuma, I'm testing for grandpa. So you've been looking for someone to take your sorrows all away. Want to hold you tight and say everything is gonna be okay. Then take Christ up, I will bring you now. Well, money will now and then we are. And yet deny to be tried. Hold on to your faith. There will be a brighter day, brighter day, brighter day. Unyami kuwa, I'm just for rebel. There will be a brighter day, brighter day.
And that was from the man Sarkodie, ushering us into another segment, Matters Arising, where you're free to join us by sending us your thoughts, comments via our WhatsApp platform, where you have the numbers at the left-hand side of your screen. Alternatively, you can join us on YouTube at Hstv GH Live. So we're going to get into the front pages of some dailies and then get onto some portals and discuss with you what's happening in the country and beyond. And we start off with the front page of the Finder from Elvis Darko this morning, and the banner headline says that government pays 485 million Ghana cedis COLA to public sector workers for July and August. And it comes with a picture of Kwesi Kwenin Bosompem. So we'll get into details of that outside the front pages. Another story here says that standard pesticides penetrating markets due to rising costs. Page 4 has details. And Ghana launches after hub to heads digital trade. It comes with a picture of the Minister for Communication and Digitalization, Honorable Ursula And then we have seen re-registration drops by 98% after deadline extension. And in as much as we were told that we were going to have a SIM re-registration app where you can be in the comfort of your homes and register your SIM cards. As a result of that, in as much as it's facing some challenges, yesterday I was listening to some of the heads of the SIM card registration offices, and according to them, it looks like there's actually been a significant drop in the numbers that head to the registration centers to register their SIM cards because of the deadlines, and of course because of the SIM card app. There's been a reduction of about 6,000 people because they work on about 10,000 people in a day across all the centers, and then they are seeing the number of about 4,000 people. So that's a 98% reduction after the deadline extension. And then still want to find that President ends Kenel Damwa's term of office. We'll get into details of that and take you through the presser from the presidency. And then SHS students to apply for loan ahead of university admission next academic year. So that's it with the stories on the front page of the Finder this morning. And then onto the Daily Dispatch from Benefson. The banner headline says that dragging Supreme Court in the mud is a threat to democracy. Justice Dowles to Mahama. It comes to the picture of him. He comes to the picture of former President of Ghana, John Mahama, and then Chief Justice Enin Yeboah, who is the current head of the Supreme Court. And the former leader has been talking about how the phrase "go to court" has now become a mocked one. However, Justice Dowles doesn't concur to these comments of the former leader John Dramani Mahama, because according to him, dragging the Supreme Court and justice or Ghana's judiciary in the mud is a threat to democracy. We'll get into details of that. Away from that, Ajua Yeboah Afare on thank you re Ghana's digitalization process, and then NPA shuts down filling station for selling petrol laced with water. Onto the Ghanaian Times, immigration officer lands in trouble for allegedly defiling two girls aged 9 and 10. And then Kenel Damwa relieved of post as Commissioner of Customs Division of GRA. And then the VIP wraps medical practitioners for poor professional attitude conduct. And then ORC to delist 2,584 dormant companies for failing to file annual returns and financial statements. Comes a picture of Mrs. Jemima Oware. And then the last story on the front page says that we have not issued permits to any company to undertake recognized prospecting and mineral exploration in forest reserves. Comes to the Minerals Commission, Dr. Martin Kweku, AEC. And then onto the new crusading guide. AG admits delay on disallowance and surcharge enforcement from Occupy Ghana, calling on that. And then Agbogloshi Chief chides Accra Mayor for ignoring traditional leaders in the Clean Accra campaign. And then we have Housing Minister response to false claims by Captain Smart, and then many communication CEOs, schools, Sumuyini, on difference between prospecting license and mining lease. And then on the Daily Guide, we have Nana access Kenel Damwa, and then Mahama tax judges again, and then Apedra Class Air owns 2 lands, and registrar to scrap 2,584 companies. And the last story here says that Accra Zoo closed down as a result of an intruder being killed by a lion on Sunday afternoon. And then onto the Daily Graphic, the front page, the banner headline says that 15% COLA hits workers' accounts. And then Kenel Damwa relieved of post. And then we will make region preferred investment destination, according to the Minister of Central Regional, the Central Regional Minister Justina Marigold Esan. And then planting for food jobs needs review, according to the former best farmer advising the government. The planting for food jobs need review. Okay, so that's it for the front pages. Now let's get into details of some stories that we have here. Then we'll start with Akufo-Addo directing Kenel Damwa to hand over to his deputy, who is the Commissioner for the Preventive Services, Mr. Idrisu Idisa. So the story in detail says that the president is asking the acting deputy commissioner of the preventive service, Mr. Idrisu Idisa, to act as the commissioner of the customs division pending the president's substantive appointment. And the president thanks Kenel Damwa for service to the state and wishes him well in his endeavors. Kenel Damwa has been embroiled in a controversy after he was captured in the La Bianca food scandal, which was uncovered by the Office of the Special prosecutor. He, however, accused the OSP for attempting to bring him down. This was after the OSP recovered over 1 million Ghana cedis from LaBianca Foods in unpaid import duties, a scandal involving a company belonged to a Council of State member. And in his view, the report is hollow and actuated with malice. So the president has now directed the Commissioner General of the Customs Division at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Colonel Kojo Damwa, retired, to hand over to his deputy, and this follows the expiration of his contract of service. So in the letter dated 26th of August 2022 says that following the expiration of your contract of service as Commissioner of GRA on 13th of October 2021, the President of the Republic has directed that effective Friday 26th of August 2022, Colonel Damwa hands over duty and office to the Acting Deputy Commissioner of the Preventive Service, Esiedu Idisa, who will act as the Commissioner of the Customs Division pending the President's substantive appointment. So that's the new information now that Colonel Damwa retired is no more the Acting Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, but his deputy now. Let's still stay on the presidency, where Akufo-Addo poorly received news of existential threats to Ghana's democracy, according to former leader John Dramani Mahama. And the story here says that former President John Dramani Mahama has said that there is a scariest existential threat to Ghana's democracy, which President Nana Akufo-Addo has failed to receive when the national security apparatus mentioned it. Mr. Mahama indicated that the threat is that the people feel the judiciary has no value, hence likely to take the laws in their own hands. Recently, the Minister of National Security, Albert Kandapa, indicated that corruption perception for judges in the country pose a threat to the country's security. He says in quotes that injustice occasioned as a result of the absence of an effective justice delivery system or delayed justice or biased justice is certainly a threat to national security. Indeed, when injustice abounds, particularly in situations where the bench, which is considered the final arbiter of disputes, is deemed biased, citizens tend to take the law into their own hands, most times because recourse to the established systems of justice delivery. He added that if the interpretation of the law is tilted in our favor all the time, people will start accusing the judiciary and will not have the confidence that they need. Mr. Mahama, while opening the second annual lawyers conference of the opposition NDC on Sunday, recently says that in recent times, so badly has the image of our judiciary deteriorated that many of our citizenry openly make mockery of our justice system and of our justices. The phrase "go to court" these days is met with derisive laughter instead of hope that one will truly get justice if he or she went to court. He says again in quotes that if people are not poking fun about politics and inducements being used to sway the hand of justice in lower courts, then it is poking fun and making statements about the 7-0 of the unanimous FC verdicts, which mostly involve cases of a political nature in our Supreme Court. And this is an unfortunate but serious development. One of the scariest existential threats to any democracy is when citizens think their judiciary holds no value for them or no use to them. And this is the security threat that the national security apparatus tried to draw the attention of the nation to recently, but poorly was received by the president and his party. He says that it is scary because it threatens the peace and stability of our democracy, and we must quickly correct the fast spreading notion, because if care is not taken, we will get to a state where people will have no qualms about taking the law into their own hands because they do not have the confidence that they can get any justice in the system. There is therefore the urgent need for Ghanaian judiciary to work to win the trust and confidence of the citizenry and erase the widely held perception of hostility and political bias in legal proceedings at the highest court of the land. So this has been the comments of the president so far. And in as much as he's been saying this, well, there is a sharp contrast perception of the Justice Dials to Mahama, and he's saying that dragging Supreme Court in the mud is actually a threat to democracy. A follow-up to what Mahama said, so we'll get into details of that. And it says that retired Court of Appeal Judge Justice Isaac Dials has cautioned former President John Dramani Mahama not to drag the image of the Supreme Court in the mud, because such an act can be a threat to the country's democracy and will not only affect the apex courts but every Ghanaian as well. Addressing a conference of lawyers of the opposition, the National Democratic Congress, on Sunday, Mr. Mahama bewailed that the judiciary has now become the butt of jokes, and as a result of its biased rulings and decisions on cases with a political tinge. He observed that the country's judiciary is broken under the leadership of Justice Anini Yeboah, and hoped that a new Chief Justice will lead an image cleansing crusade in the future, since, in his view, the current Chief Justice cannot lead such a process. Recently, he noted that so badly has the image of our judiciary deteriorated that many of our citizenries openly make a mockery of our justice system and of our justices. The phrase "go to court" is these days met with derisive laughter instead of hope that one will truly get justice if he or she went to court. Reacting to Mr. Mahama's comments against the judiciary, Justice Dials said persons who speak against the judiciary must learn from history. He told the host that it is very difficult to agree with him, that's John Mahama, on the soiled image of the judiciary. The judiciary has a range from the magistrate court all the way to the Supreme Court, and from what I've read, he has a problem with the Supreme Court and the cases that it took there, and history has shown us that's something that we should not do too frequently. He called that in 1970 one of the highest proclaimed Democrats in the country, that is Kofi Abrefa Busia, after he lost the case in court, went on radio and announced that no court can compel the government to follow its decision. It was a very poor decision, and we must be very careful on how we make some of these decisions. Justice Isaac Dials stated that the Supreme Court is a very important body to which all of us will refer from time to time, and if we drag it in the mud too much, it will affect everybody as well. He further told Mr. Mahama that any attempt to reshuffle the judiciary will be extremely difficult by the dictates of the Constitution. The Constitution, the way it is made, will make it very difficult for any new government to reshuffle the Supreme Court as it is. I'll caution the ex-president to be very careful about some of these things, because if an attempt is made to demolish the Supreme Court because of one or two cases, it can be a very big disaster for our democracy. Democracy depends on the efficiency and respect of the trust people have in the Supreme Court, and I'm glad the National Security Coordinator himself has had the opposition to caution the Supreme Court on the perceived ills that afflict it, and I think it's time we leave it at that level so that the people who are being accused of destroying the courts will change their attitudes. And those are the comments of Justice Dials to John Dramani Mahama, that when you drag the Supreme Courts in the mud, it affects or is a threat to our democracy. Let's get into other news, and let's go to the Ashanti region, where the Kumasi Traditional Council and Oyopa FM is still in the news because the Traditional Council of Kumasi has made a U-turn and has ordered Oyopa FM, Oyopa Network, to get back to operate as a media outlet. And this comes after tough meetings or some tight meetings with the Kumasi Traditional Council, Oyopa FM delegates, and then the Ghana Journalists Association. And it says that we never compelled Oyopa to shut down. These are the words of the Kumasi Traditional Council. And the story in detail says that Oyopa on Monday appeared before the Traditional Court, the Traditional Council of Kumasi, to plead, and the management of the Kumasi base station was led by the chief of Asokore Mampong and the former chairman of the National Peace Council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Asante. And an earlier approach made by the management is what saw the instruction to shut operations. So the Kumasi Traditional Council has said it never forced the management of Orepa FM to shut down operations. Utumfo Osei the second's linguist Bafo Kantankrache told a high-level delegation, including the Ghana Journalists Association, that the statement made last Thursday was a piece of advice. He says that we didn't force management to shut down their radio station. We only advised them that for the respect they have for Asantehene, they should do just that, which they complied. The station has come under fire for apparently allowing Akwesi Adai Odike to attack the Asantehene on the menace of illegal mining. We have a video to that effect, especially what transpired between delegates of Orepa media outlets, the Kumasi Traditional Council, and the Ghana Journalists Association.
Someone see ya Odike card your pen. I am on a moment platform money. Na Odike Kasadi and Guntimin. If it's a son and family, home office as some get to Abi. Naka obey. Enka dipping more draw. Yana nanum yua. Yeni beso. Ya ye beso near Tumofo. Ninama. She said, and ananum kind. Ya, menomo ya dream. Musem. Nkopegi bima emu dro na momfama na nanani na se mo pese ye hu se mo nu ho dia enne mo dawro emma Asante my Ghana man nyina wiase nyina nche semafom enti mo pa o ma chew enam senti se mo pese benhia hu se Manya no enti efri fiada akọ pemsa asem ye be kan wie no radio station no muntimi mwe na no ye hu se manya no na say no dia amade a menya sure se mo ba ha na nanom nyum betini mremremre.
Video of the meeting that transpired between Orepa media outlets, the Kumasi Traditional Council, and the Ghana Journalists Association. So the good news is that Orepa FM or the Orepa network is now back operating as a media outlet. Let's get into other news as regards to the senior high school, and it says that SHS students to apply for loan ahead of university admission next academic year. And the story says that beginning next academic year, senior high school students awaiting admissions to various tertiary institutions can apply for student loan. Nana Kweku Ejeyiwa, who is the chief executive officer of the Student Loan Trust Funds, has hinted. He says the initiative, according to him, would further eliminate barriers to tertiary education 1 year after the introduction of the no guarantor policy in assessing student loan. And the no guarantor policy is all about how you can actually apply for loans without a guarantor. So initially you have to bring about 2-3 people who were supposed to guarantee for your loan. They were supposed to stand in, and there were supposed to be people who were in high positions or who were reputable persons in society that were supposed to guarantee for your loan to be given to you. But now all you just have to do is to have a Ghana card or even the voter's card that you can access student loan to help you continue your education. The story continues to say that speaking at a deba held in honor of Dr. Yao Osei-Duchim, the Minister of Education, by the chiefs and people of Bosomtwe, the CEO said the initiative was one of the innovative ideas of the minister. Dr. Educhum, who is also the Member of Parliament for Bosomtwe, was celebrated at the Deba for his immense contributions to the development of the constituency. Attended by virtually all the chiefs in the constituency, youth groups, students and other stakeholders in education. The Minister for Education was rewarded for his transformative leadership of the ministry and the impact he was making in the education sector. The CEO of the Students Loan Trust Fund said with the intended initiative to allow SHS students apply for loans ahead of their admission, transition to tertiary institutions in Ghana was going to be the smoothest in the sub-region. He further clarified that the loan would be given only to students who successfully gain admission, adding that the move was to encourage students to progress to tertiary institutions without having to worry about tuition fees. He paid glory tribute to the minister for repositioning the fund for effective service delivery, saying that the impact on Ghanaian students will be immeasurable once the new policy took off. The education minister, he said, was a national asset and urged the people of Bosomtwe to cherish and support him to transform Ghana's education for the benefit of present and future generations. Mr. Edichum thanked the chiefs and people of Bosomtwe for the honor done him and promised to do more to justify the confidence reposed in him by his constituents who offered him the opportunity to serve Ghanaians. He said without the support and wise counsel of the chiefs and other stakeholders, he would not have achieved anything, and called for their continuous support to push the development agenda collectively. He pledged to serve the interests of the people of Bosomtwe at all times as their representative, saying that the love shown him was enough motivation to work even harder. Finally, Nana Opoku Ampotsem II, the chief of Abrankese Nyamiane, on behalf of the chiefs, presented a citation, assaulted Kente and a ram to Dr. Edichum in appreciation of the significant impact he made since becoming their member of parliament. So that is a commendable one by the Minister of Education, especially to the people or the constituents of Bosomtwe. Let's further get into other stories as regards to standard pesticides penetrating markets due to rising costs. And the story in detail says that standard pesticides are said to be penetrating the agro inputs markets in Ghana on the back of the rising cost of authentic crop nutrition products globally. So global prices of quality fertilizers and pesticides are getting more and more out of the reach of ordinary farmers, a situation industry players say is leading to the patronage of cheap counterfeit products. Mr. Bernardo Kutu, who is the managing director of Kali Ghana, a multinational agro-input supply company, told Cocoa Post that industry stakeholders have observed the worrying trend, which he fears is being exacerbated by the rising cost of authentic products. He says in quotes that we are having standard products on the market, and just last week CropLife Ghana organized a meeting with Environmental Protection Agency to ensure that we clamp down on the counterfeit products that are on the market. He emphasized that the agrochemical suppliers fraternity is quite concerned because a farmer will not have the ability to test whether a product is good or not. So far as they can afford, if it's cheaper, they're going for it. He warned of serious implications for Ghana's agriculture and food security if the situation with standard or substandard fertilizers and agrochemicals are allowed to fester. The Kali Ghana board stated that as well affects the soil quality, which will then affect the productivity as well. Ghanaian authorities, including Ghana Cocoa Board, have been encouraging farmers to explore organic alternatives in the wake of the rising cost of conventional plant nutrition and pesticide products. But that call, though commendable, stakeholders say might not help, as the share of organic pesticides in the agrochemicals market locally is negligible. Hence, farmers resort to cheaper and substandard alternatives. Bernard Okutu, who is the CEO, stressed that if we are buying substandard products, what it means is that residue levels on our produce will be very high and our health issues as well will increase. He assured that local input suppliers are committed to ensuring food security, although fertilizer imports are coming at a very high cost. And we attribute that again to the Russia-Ukraine war. And he says further in quotes that we are trying to augment the granular with the foliar, which is a bit cheaper, to ensure that the farmers can be supported to reduce the food security issues we could have in future. He reposed confidence in the EPA and industry stakeholders collaborating to nip the growing prevalence of substandard pesticides on the market in the bud. Finally, they have taken some actions, and I believe that if it is continued, we will be able to salvage the situation. So that is not quite a good one for the persons in our fertilizer industry because of substandardized pesticides coming in as a result of the rising cost of living. Let's get into another business story that says that word of mouth marketing strategy is not working for Ghana's two biggest banks. That's the Ghana Commercial Bank and EcoBank. Word of mouth marketing strategy not working for Ghana's two biggest banks, GCB and EcoBank. And the story detail says that word of mouth marketing strategy for advertising employed by GCB and EcoBank, according to the Ghanaian research firm Global Info Analytics, is not achieving the required results demanded by the two banks. Per the Q2 2022 Banking Brand Health Check report by Global Info Analytics, the word of mouth marketing strategy by the banks for the first half of the year have been ineffective. According to the reports, Ghana Commercial Bank and EcoBank for the period under review made average scores of 47.81% and 43.11% respectively in the Net Promoter Score metric, the metric that measures the word of mouth marketing strategy. According to Global Info Analytics, a score of 50% or more suggests that the word of mouth marketing strategy or advertising is working for the brand. An NPS score below 50% implies that the bank's word of mouth marketing strategy isn't working for them. Aside GCB and EcoBank, the reports revealed that the word of mouth marketing strategy was also not working for banks like ADB, like APSA, like Access Bank, like Zenith Bank, and like the CBG, the Consolidated Banks Ghana. So for Standard Bank, National Investment Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and First National Bank, the word of mouth strategy is effectively working for them. The Net Promoter Score measures customer loyalty and how likely they are to refer the brand, the products and services to others. Word of mouth marketing is when consumers' interest in a company's products or services reflected in their daily dialogues. Essentially, it is free advertising triggered by good customer experiences. A study further indicates that 64% of marketing executives believe word of mouth is the most effective form of marketing, and 82% of marketers use word of mouth marketing to increase their brand awareness. Another study by Nelson also asserts that 92% of consumers believe suggestions from friends and family more than they do advertising, making it one of the most valuable sources of marketing for companies. And then we have a chart to that effect where when you take a look at the word of mouth, for those that it is working for, Ghana Commercial Bank, it is not working for them. ADB is not working for them. EcoBank and Fidelity, Access Bank, APSA, Stanbic Bank is not working for them, but it's not also working for Zenith Bank. It's working for Societe Bank. It's working for NIB. It's not working for the Consolidated Bank Ghana. For Standard Chartered, it's working for them. For Stanbic Bank, it's also working for them. Cow Bank, unfortunately, is not working for them. FNB, it is working for them. UMB, it is not working for them. Prudential, GT Bank, Republic Bank, it's not working for them. FAB, it's not working for them. For UBA, the word of mouth marketing strategy, it is working for them. And then BOA, and then Omni Bank, and then FBN Bank, all three, it is not also working for them. So for some banks, it is working for them. For it is not working for them. And this is the word of mouth marketing strategy. So they are hoping that measures will be put in place. So the key brand metrics assess that brand recall, purchase intent, brand visibility, net promoter score, brand equity, and brand satisfaction. And all of these key brand metrics will provide insights that help the bank to assess how they can track their performance against competitors. So that's a business story as regards to word of mouth strategy. Let's get into other news about Esla Ekufu, who is saying why individuals and businesses must obtain a free after number. And it says in details that the government of Ghana, through the Ministries of Communications and Digitalization, the Trade and Industries, officially launched the After Hub earlier. And the purpose of the After Hub is to ensure that in our quest to export our ICT goods and services across Africa and beyond, Ghanaian businesses have a trusted profile outside of Ghana, as well as to strengthen the industry and regulators to combat fraudsters who will also want to use the AFTA to regionalize their nefarious activities. We are announcing directives to accelerate the adoption of the AFTA number and AFTA Common Transaction ID frameworks in Ghana for these and other reasons. Beginning immediately, all individuals and businesses engaged in the courier, postal delivery, logistics, ride-sharing, e-commerce, digital trading, or any other business of that nature must obtain a free AFTA number at the link over there, www.afta.app. That's the AFTA Hub gateway. We expect online service providers such as Uber, Glovo, Bolt, Jumia, Tonaton, Yango, Amazon, and others to ensure that all businesses registered on their platform secure their AFTA number and begin integrating their transaction processing systems with the AFTA Hub as soon as possible. If done correctly, all customers of such businesses and services will be able to verify and validate their regulatory and compliance status, increasing trust in the marketplace, increasing uptake of digital services, suppressing fraud, and increasing the efficiency of doing business in Ghana and elsewhere. So those are the details of that story where the AFTA number of the AFTA Hub has been launched. As a result of that, persons or businesses are expected to have their AFTA number to reduce fraud, more like, and to ensure that our businesses go down well. Let's still stay on business and talk about Atimpoku Shell that has been closed down after dispensing contaminated fuel to consumers, where it says that management of the Shell filling station at Atimpoku near the Adome Bridge in the eastern region has been closed down after it was detected that contaminated fuel was sold to customers. And there were complaints that water mixed fuel was dispensed to drivers on Sunday 28th of August. But management explained in a statement that water had seeped into one of the underground storage tanks after a heavy downpour in the day. Quoting that, as soon as the team discovered water contamination, sales at the station were stopped. Assistance is being provided to impacted customers, management said. Internal investigation have been launched and the fuel distribution company has assured that all necessary remedial steps will be taken before the station reopens. We remain committed to providing best quality fuels to our customers, and that's a short message from the management. However, the Shell station has been closed down at Atimpoku near the Adome Bridge in the Ashanti region, in the eastern region. So we have a video to that effect. Let's take a look and come back and discuss more.
See? Right from the tank. See the separation.
That's almost.
See? Right from the tank. See the separation.
That's almost.
See? Right from the tank. See the separation.
That's almost.
Right, so that was a short video about how the fuel has been mixed with water, and according to management of the Shell station at Atimpukunia Domit Bridge in the eastern region, management is saying that it's because, or it's as a result of the rains, and that is how come the water has been steeped into their underground storage. That's causing that. So investigations have commenced in as much as that Shell station has been closed down. Let's get into other business stories where Afrexim bank loan that has hit into the account of the central bank. Ghana has received $730 million instead of the $750 million that we have all been expecting. So the much talked about Afrexim bank loan has finally hit the Bank of Ghana's account, but the amount fell short of what Parliament had approved. The central bank received $730 million instead of the $750 million. As at the close of Friday, the Bank of Ghana had received $2 and €1 tranches from Afrexim Bank, totaling about $713 million. But the loan agreement contained $750 million, indicating a shortfall of $37 million. Sources inside the BOG could not explain why the funds fell short of the approved figure. The sources explained that some $13 million had already been paid as fees, and so the shortfall must be something other than fees. And government earmarked their facility for some key infrastructure projects, including roads and some sports facilities for the 2023 All Africa Games to be hosted by Ghana. So even though we are hearing or we are getting reports that some $13 was paid as fees, still there is a shortfall. So until these gaps are filled, the projects, especially in 2023, that's infrastructure projects, especially roads, and then some sports facilities for the 2023 All Africa Games to be hosted by Ghana, once the gaps are not filled, those projects may be stifled. So we are calling, or the general public is expecting the finance ministry, that's the best body, to explain to us why and how there is a shortfall of $37 million. Let's still stay on the finance ministry and the finance minister and Magdan, where a story here from Magdan is saying that the Oforiatta should be given the chance to fix the economic problems. The story says that Chief Executive Officer of Magdan Group, Daniel Macaulay, has reacted to calls for the dismissal of the Finance Minister, Ken Oforiatta. In his view, Mr. Oforiatta should be given the chance to fix the current economic challenges facing the country. He says in quotes that, "I have respect for those calling for his dismissal. The Finance Minister must be given the chance to fix Ghana's problems. The President knows why he is still keeping him." A global financial analyst, Dr. Joshua Banfo, has also indicated that the best way in solving the economic challenges is not to sack Mr. Oforiatta. The minister should rather be challenged to solve the challenges facing the economy. He added that the track record of this government in the first 3 years shows that they can turn the economy around. Speaking with reporters, Dr. Banfo said the first 3 years showed a performance that was excellent, that investors had confidence in. It says in quotes again that, "I think this is the time for us to challenge the current finance minister and his team to equally turn this back around, because their track records, at least for the first 3 years, show a performance that was excellent, that investors had confidence in. There was a lot of foreign direct investment as well. So I'm not of the view that the best way to go about solving this issue is for the president to kick the minister out. However, what is very important is to rebuild credibility. I fully agree that the way and manner going to the IMF was handled wasn't the most credible. I believe the ministry should have known that we have some significant challenges." His comments come at a time a professor at the University of Ghana Business School, Godfred Bogbin, called for the resignation of the finance ministry. And in his view, the country has reached a stage where it needs fresh ideas at the finance ministry on how the country can come out of the economic challenges. And speaking in an interview again on the sidelines of the Imani Ghana Forum in Accra on Wednesday, he said that I think that we need fresh ideas. We need fresh ideas. We need a different face from the ministry. I do recognize the current Minister of Finance perhaps has done his best for the country, and I think that we should be able to recognize that we are at the point where somebody also needs to continue. But Mr. Oforiatta said he would not resign. Speaking to journalists at the Accra Sports Stadium during the delegate conference of the New Patriotic Party, Mr. Oforiatta said that while reacting to the calls that it is almost like telling a father to resign from his children because he has changed his mind. There are times that decisions have to be made for the survival of the country, and therefore in such circumstances such as COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war, which are not typical, it does change the environment. So these are the words of Magdan or of Macaulay. Let's still stay on business where COLA has been paid to public sector workers. Good news. So controller pays 480 million Ghana cedis as COLA to public sector workers. And the news in detail says that the controller and accountant general's department says an amount of 485 million Ghana cedis has been paid as a cost of living allowance, the COLA, to public sector workers for the months of July and August. Government in July 2022 reached an agreement with organized labor for the payment of COLA after a long period of strike. A statement from the controller and accountant general confirmed the payment. So the statement says that government pays cost of living allowance. First on the list says that pursuant to the approval given by the Ministry of Finance on 1st of August 2022, following the agreement signed between government and organized labor on 14 July 2022, the controller and accountant general has paid the COLA to workers in public service institutions. The second point says that the COLA, which represents 15% of the 2022 basic salary, was paid for the months of July and August. And the third on the list says that the total amount paid for COLA for the 2 months is 485 million Ghana cedis. So that is the amount of money that has been paid to the public sector workers. Good news. So July and August, that money has been paid to them. Let's still stay on business and let's talk about the importation of toothpick in the country. Ghana imports toothpick. Yes, Ghana imports toothpick, and there's a story here that says that African palm toothpick, the Ghanaian company trying to end importation of toothpicks. So in as much as Ghana we are importing toothpicks, and especially when you look at the inflation, the determinant toothpick is not of exception. There is a Ghanaian company, African Palm Toothpick, that is saying that it is trying or it can to end importation of toothpicks. So one of the exhibitors at the This is Ghana exhibition believes in the future where Ghana no longer imports toothpicks. African Palm Toothpick manufactures toothpick from oil palm tree branches. Ghana has often been criticized for being import dependent on the point where it imports even items as basic as toothpicks. One of the founders of African Palm Toothpick, Professor Edward Intifu Siam, wants to change this narrative. Professor Intifu, who is also an oil palm farmer, was worried about the waste from his farm and looked into making use of parts that were not being utilized. He says in quotes that anytime we harvest, we cut the branches and waste it. So I sat down with my engineer and said that how can we turn on this waster on my farm into a product? So we stop importing toothpicks. His partner, Ben Blanton Gidisu, is the engineering brain behind the venture, and they have a base for manufacturing in the New Ibrim in the eastern region. They have had to develop new machines for processing toothpicks because Chinese machines used for manufacturing toothpicks are normally tailored to bamboo. Professor Intifu Sian also stressed that this venture should be considered a matter of national pride. We are trying to save the country the shame of using our little dollars to import something that can be made in Ghana. African Palm Toothpick currently employs 10 women and plans to triple this number when it goes into full production. This company is also targeting the setting up of companies in the central and western region. So that is a very good initiative coming up from the Ghanaian company that believes that they can end importation in the country. So they need our help to end importation of food because it's a basic thing that Ghana can always get into. Let's now talk about some residents in the Hstv region that have been demonstrating or protesting and registering their grievances as a result of their bad roads. And this is the Sokobon residents protesting deplorable roads. And the story says that the deplorable state of roads in the Sokobon and Pabame road in the Hstv region have angered residents enough to hit the streets. The action, according to residents, is to draw government's attention to fix the road after a series of unfulfilled promises. The road links Kumasi to Trede and other regions in the central and western parts of the country. The muddy and slippery nature of the road makes it very difficult for motorists to use it when it rains. Economic activities in the area are badly affected. It says that when it rains, people hardly come to buy stuff here because of the muddy nature of the road. And this is a frustrated mini market attendant who is fuming that you can sit in the shop for hours without anyone coming to buy anything. A taxi driver also noted that we have to frequent the mechanic shops due to the poor state of the road. We end up using all our sales to fix a broken part of our vehicles. The 15-kilometer stretch, which starts from Daban to Trede, has seen more than 14 kilometers tarred, leaving the Sokobon Timpon Petuda portion, which is less than a kilometer. Contractors initially said they could not work on that portion of the road because the construction will affect the shrine of the town. But Chief of Petuda Nanakusi Obuadu refuted such claim. She said that it is not true we resisted the construction of the road because it will lead to the relocation of our shrine. If government is ready to fix the road, it should come and do it to bring us relief. Residents say they will continue to stage such protests to demand the fixing of their road. Let's see how residents yesterday morning of the Sokobon community protested the deplorable states of the roads, and come back and discuss more. So clearly, those were some residents of the Sokoban community blocking some roads as a result of, or in a bid to register their grievances and protest the deplorable roads. And issues that came up after this protest is that government is unable to, fix that 1 kilometer stretch of the road because of the location of the community's shrine. However, the Sokoban Queen Mother advises government that all it has to do is to perform libation to relocate the shrine for the road to be constructed. So the Queen Mother says that the Queen Mother of the Sokoban in the Kumasi metropolis has appealed to the government to pacify the gods to enable the relocation of the shrine in the area for work to resume on the Sokoban and Pabame road. The less than 1 kilometer stretch has been abandoned for 2 years after the main Durban Trader road was constructed. During a demonstration over the stalled road construction, the Queen Mother or Heneyere Sewa and Poma team said the shrine that is close to the road can be relocated once libation is poured. She debunked claims that the shrine has posed as an impediment to the construction of the road. The major challenge, according to her, is the non-payment of compensation for properties to be affected by the road construction. Earlier, aggrieved residents resisted an intervention by the police to clear the road for motorists. Clad in red gears and armbands, residents of Sokoban, including members of the traditional council of the area, mounted roadblocks preventing vehicles, including an ambulance, from accessing the road. And the police reinforcements numbering over 20, led by the Ashanti Regional Deputy Police Command ACP Kwesi Ano Ahin, eventually convinced the irate residents to open the road for traffic. It's been 2 years now after contractors demarcated the road for construction. The 1 kilometer stretch of road in the community has since not seen its completion, and as some residents claim to have paid some amount of money to pave the way for the road to be constructed, it has been alleged a stone god sitting to the road sitting closer to the road is the cause of the lull in constructing the road. However, Queen Mother of Sokoban or Heneyere Sewa and Poma team says that the traditional council is ready to pacify the gods for the construction of that 1 kilometer stretch to take off. So these are the stories that have emanated from Sokoban metropolis in the Ashanti region, because their 1 kilometer, even less than a 1 kilometer stretch of that road has left to a deplorable state after 2 years. This brings us to a wrap of this segment, Matters Arise, and then you're free to share your thoughts, comments about all that we have talked about on YouTube. We are live there at Hstv GH Live, or on our WhatsApp platform where you have the numbers at the left hand side of your screen. So it's a wrap for Matters Arising. These stories coming up. As to when development stories come up, we'll definitely share with you viewers wherever you are. So I'm going to take a quick 10, and then when I come back, the sports goddess is all ready to give you the latest in the world of sports. We'll be back after this short breather.
Is Dr. Andrew Akutu. I'm the Managing Director of Hstv Funeral Homes. Hstv Funeral Homes was established to provide modern, state-of-the-art and comprehensive funeral services. If a family lost a loved one, everything became a do-it-yourself affair. But Hstv Funeral Homes was established so that everything that has to do with the funeral, from the time a person dies until they are buried, can all be done and made available in one place. And at all time, to emphasize the importance of treating the body of the deceased with the utmost respect and dignity. Hstv Funeral Homes provides any and all services that have to do with funerals. Hstv Funeral Homes will recover the body from wherever the death occurred, embalm the body using the most modern techniques. We will keep the body or store the body in our state-of-the-art a refrigeration system for as long as the family desires. Nearer the time of the funeral, we will prepare and dress the body up for the funeral. We provide transportation, namely ambulances and hearses, to convey the body from one place to the other as the family may wish. We also provide on our premises the services of an interdenominational chapel where the services can be conducted. We also have the only modern crematory in Ghana at the moment, which services not only Ghana but also Cote d'Ivoire. We also have a cemetery, one of the only two privately managed cemeteries in Accra at the moment. All it takes, literally, is one telephone call and perhaps 2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
It's time for Sports a Minutes Live on Hstv, and welcome back. This is still Healthy Morning. My name is Precious Azuma. Let's get into the stories. And Black Star striker Felix Afenajan has confirmed his departure from Italian Serie A giants AS Roma, announcing the end of his journey at the Stadium Olimpico. Felix Afenajan thanked AS Roma coach Jose Mourinho and manager of Roma's Primavera squad Alberto De Rossi for overseeing his development. Felix Afenajan didn't announce his next destination, but it was earlier reported that AS Roma have agreed a deal with Serie A newcomers US Cremonese for a fee worth about 8 million euro, and he stated that I'm grateful to AS Roma, the technical team and staff, for the precious opportunity and support I have enjoyed in the last 1.5 years. My uttermost love to the manager, Jose Mourinho. The last 7 months with you have totally changed my life. Thank you for believing in me.
Some boxing, and Ghanaian boxer Samuel Techi knocked out his Nigerian opponent Samuel Moses in the first round of the lightweight fight at the Telesim Sports Stadium in Lagos on Sunday, August 28th. The Ghanaian Olympic medalist wasted no time as he launched some strong punches on the 36-year-old Samuel Moses to earn his third professional win. Now let's do some international stories. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was physically assaulted during a violent armed robbery at his home in Barcelona on Monday yesterday. According to reports, at least 4 men are alleged to have entered the property at about 1 a.m. According to Spanish publication, who report that thieves climbed into the garden and threatened both Aubameyang and his wife with firearms and iron bars. They proceeded to intimidate the victim and his wife with weapons until they managed to open a safe. It is reported that several jewels were taken. So according to several witnesses, the men then fled the scene in a white Audi A3. Aubameyang and his wife have since submitted statements to local police, who are now trying to identify those responsible for the armed robbery in Barcelona. That is quite an unfortunate story over there. But now let's wrap up with some tennis. And Britain's Andy Murray demonstrated his grit to frustrate Argentine 24th seed Francisco Cerundolo and start the 10th anniversary of his US Open victory with a first round win. Murray eventually clinched the first set and then raced ahead in the second as Cerundolo became despondent. The former world number 1, who earned the first of his 3 major titles in New York, went on to win 7-5, 6-3 and 6-3. So soon wrap up today on Sports in Minutes live on Hstv. My name is Precious Azuma. Healthy morning still continues. Do stay with us.
Is Dr. Andrew Akutu. I'm the Managing Director of Hstv Funeral Homes. Hstv Funeral Homes was established to provide modern, state-of-the-art and comprehensive funeral services. If a family lost a loved one, everything became a do-it-yourself affair. But Hstv Funeral Homes was established so that everything that has to do with the funeral, from the time a person dies until they are buried, can all be done and made available in one place. And at all times, to emphasize the importance of treating the body of the deceased with the utmost respect and dignity. Hstv Funeral Homes provides any and all services that have to do with funerals. Hstv Funeral Homes will recover the body from wherever the death occurred, embalm the body using the most modern techniques. We will keep the body or store the body in our state-of-the-art refrigeration system for as long as the family desires. Nearer the time of the funeral, we will prepare and dress the body up for the funeral. We provide transportation, namely ambulances and hearses, to convey the body from one place to the other as the family may wish. We also provide on our premises the services of an interdenominational chapel where the services can be conducted. We also have the only modern crematory in Ghana at the moment, which services not only Ghana but also Côte d'Ivoire. We also have a cemetery, one of the only 2 privately managed cemeteries in Accra at the moment. All it takes, literally, is one telephone call and perhaps 2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for you. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
This is Hstv, grateful for your time. Training. Are you creative? Are you willing to learn? Are you interested in the media? Well, Hstv has an opportunity for you. Get training in camera handling, video editing, motion graphics, program presenting, MCR, sound engineering, news reporting, and casting.
In Accra to speak to some commercial drivers.
Why don't you call these numbers 054 68 33 724 or 0240 300 507.
Awusia bedawase se o kasa mfonyine egusua eda Hstv ebia na wadamfo bi onua bi ananse busuani bi aboamane se na nsen enya de onya Hstv o ne kasa mfonyine eso obu onu mu a onya mfonyine eba nanso kasa bi a emma obu wonso onu ma ne de na tekokra anyimu ayebususu bese o tin kai boy na ebo na mane emaye se we Hstv no atekwa yebese se obesa scan u TV no foforo anaso obesa scan u decoder no foforo eni be mu akwanya ama wonsa saka Hstv bio de enjumadi ahodo na wonso wanya akwanya atumi ahwe bi enti bia na onua bi pese o sa scan TV no foforo a yebese se obeya aso na watie kwan a obefa so obesa scan TV no anase decoder no efoforo yedi nkan so pese o scan TV no foforo a obefa remote na what remote no so wamia menu e remote no so e di amaye atwode bebre e le ba okasa mfonyi no eso hwehwe bia ya tworo se channels e maye ne mia okay e remote no eso e di atwere foforo e besa ba o kasa mfonyi no eso ahwehwe bia ya tworo se auto scan ne mia okay wo remote no so e maye we be scan ni stations ahodo e wo kasa mfonyi no so e di amount ejina u TV no so bitimi di sima be aduonu eko aduasa eso stations ahodoɔ ɛba akasa mfonyin no ɛso bɔmmɔden a na hwɛ Hstv onsa bɛka yɛn na afwa hwɛ adwumadi ahodoɔ a aka nyinaa ebia na wo deɛ no enye TV na emom odi koda ɛna apɛ sɛ osaska no fofo ntitiw ɛne ɔmom use Go TV obɛbɔ mmɔden afa remote no na wamia menu ɛwɔ remote no so ɛde ama me atwerɛdeɛ bebree ɛbɛba wo kasa mfonyin no anim wadaroma hwehwɛ bia atwerɛ sɛ advanced option nini a okay ɛwɔ remote no so ɛma me ɛde atwerɛdeɛ foforɔ ɛbɛba wo kasa mfonyin no anim hwehwɛ bia yɛatwerɛ sɛ installation nini a okay ɛwɔ remote no so ɛma me ɛde atwerɛdeɛ foforɔ ɛbɛsan aba afei hwehwɛ bia yɛatwerɛ sɛ auto scan nini a okay ɛwɔ remote no so ɛma me webɛma wɔn nsa ka ɛyɛ kasamfonya na stations ahodoɔ a ɛwɔ ɔman mu nyinaa bɔmmɔden na ɛhwɛ Hstv ne nea okay ɛwɔ so webɛmu akonya asamo abɛka Hstv abusua kɛseɛ no ho ne dwumadie yɛ nyinaa wɔn nso wɔanya bi ahwɛ bɔnua bi a ne Hstv atekɔ amaneɛ wɔn fa saa kwan yi so na ne nsa bɛsan aka yɛn yɛde wase so agye brɛ na watie yɛn na wahwɛ yɛn so.
Boy, another real life story. Yeah. Another brilliant classic. Hustling from Chaka to Mamprobi, from assignment to Kotobabi, with a burn under the sun, but still give Jaja the glory. Well then. Sometimes he be duck chain at the carry. Meet by bra, at the rush, at the hurry. That about from where he be like, say, Kaya yo, I go marry. Anyway, waiting be my home. I'm not in the